Hello everyone, Colin Cadet here for Woodwork Web. And today, guess what? We've got another guest in the workshop. We don't get guests here very often, but today we've got Pailin, and Pailin is from
Hot Thai Kitchen.
Hot Thai Kitchen. Now, I met Pai at a YouTube event that we both were attending a little while ago, and as we got talking, she found out that I do woodworking, and I found out that she was a Thai chef, and I absolutely love Thai food, so that maybe we could do a trade here, because you were looking for
A wooden mortar and pestle. And it's not something you can just walk down the street and get at the store, and so here is this guy who can make anything out of wood, so it's perfect.
Well, maybe we can find out what a mortar and pestle is and how it works. Well, I'm delighted that you brought a couple of these along with, because I don't know how to use these or what they're used for.
So these are the traditional Thai mortars and pestles. Now they come in all different shapes and sizes, and what they're good for is just for grinding anything. So we make curry paste with them, we grind fresh spices, which is always better than buying ground, nuts, make marinades, dressing, sauces. If you follow me on my YouTube channel, you see me use these all the time. They're really useful. Now I've got two here. This one is made from granite.
Wow.
Incredibly heavy. It's for heavy duty stuff.
Yeah.
This one is bigger, but it's lighter. It's made from clay with a wooden pestle.
Oh.
And so this one we typically use for light crushing, and we also make our famous papaya salad in this guy.
Oh.
Yeah. And so my problem though, Colin, is that this one is super heavy and this one is big, and they're not exactly convenient to move around in the kitchen. And sometimes I really don't need sort of the heaviness or the capacity, because I just need to grind little herbs and spices here and there. Okay. So I was hoping that we could make something that's a little lighter, a little more convenient, that I can just, you know, bring around and walk around in the kitchen with me. And washing, these are kind of a pain to wash because they're so big. They are big. So yeah, I was hoping we could make something for my light crushing needs.
How about if I put something together and you give a try at making something yourself even?
You want me to do some woodworking?
Yeah.
Sure, I'd love to.
Let's try that.
I don't know if you'll regret that request, but sure, yeah, that sounds like fun.
All right, let's try that. Now, the first thing when you're turning is you absolutely need good eye protection, and you need to make sure that you don't have anything that can get caught in the lathe, so you've got your sleeves rolled up. That's good. Now, typically we put the tool rest about even with the center of the piece that we're working on. I've already started this just to get a little bit easier for you. Right. And you'll just hold the tool sort of parallel and just ease into that. And then you can, as you go across, you can move the tool backwards and slide it this way and back and forth. And this is going to be the bottom here, so you'll be able to sort of shape that as you go around. Okay. So let's turn it on, and we'll get you started. And then just ease into it.
What is it that I'm trying to do here? Am I trying to...
You're shaping the outside of the mortar. You can push a little bit harder. There you go.
Whoa, look at that. It's like party streamer thingies flying out of this thing. But I haven't got a clue what shape I'm making this, Colin. I'm just like collecting fluff now.
Okay, well you can decide the shape that you want, and as you go along, you can just keep carving that bottom down.
Okay, so I can sort of see that the middle is now, because we've been doing this, the middle is now higher.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm looking for is for the bottom to be a little more curved, so it's not...
Yep. And go ahead and do that. And,
he's just going to stand there and say, okay, go do it.
I'm going to go
It's my first time ever doing anything like that. Well, you know what? It's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. Nope. I have to say.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's sort of like molding pottery. Not that I've ever done that either, but, you know. Right?
Okay, we're going to carry on here, and we'll show some clips of this. We'll speed this up because we don't want to take up everybody's time.
Yeah, and you don't want to see how the rest of this is going to go, I think.
Well, I've rounded out the inside now fairly well. What? How do you test? How do you know what's a good shape for the inside of that?
Yeah, so for a mortar this size, you want to make it sort of like a bowl shape. So nothing that's too narrow at the bottom.
Okay.
So a good way to test it is just take your pestle and you want to be able to just grind it around just like that.
Okay.
And if it feels stuck or if it feels really narrow, you don't feel like you can have a lot of movement, that probably means it's too narrow or the bottom is too flat because you want the bottom surface to sort of go hand in hand with the curvature of the pestle, right? So just try to do this, and if it feels natural, it feels okay, then you're good. If not, you probably just need to widen this portion a little bit more.
Okay, how is that now? Is that?
Yeah, that's good. We could go a little, there's a little, if you feel over here, it's a little bit, like there's a little dip there. If we could smooth that out, that would be perfect.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. So put your fingers in there and see if that's round enough.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep, that's good.
Okay, let's do a little bit of sanding.
Ooh. Baby smooth. Yeah, and you definitely, I mean, a good test is to put your pestle in here and run it around and grind it and see if it gets stuck anywhere.
Yep.
I mean, you could really just take it out and grind some peppercorns in here and see how it feels if you want. But yeah, the ultimate test is to make sure that it fits nicely with your pestle.
Okay.
Your pestle isn't too small or too big for the size of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, we sanded it all down, Pi. Why don't you finish it now with some mineral oil?
Okay. And you were saying that I could have used any vegetable oil or walnut oil, things like that.
Yeah, I like walnut oil, but to be safe, we're going to use mineral oil today.
And just rub it on?
Yep, just rub it on.
Oh, wow, look, it pops instantly.
Here, I'll give you some more.
Yeah.
You can't put it on too thick. There you go.
That's good to know.
There you go.
Wow, it just gets an instant shine. It's like putting on makeup.
Yeah.
Oh, it does absorb it quite a bit.
It does, yeah, it will.
There. Yeah, I think we're good. Did I miss anything?
Okay, no, it's good. We'll let that dry for a while, and then we'll give it a second coat, and it'll be good to go.
And what's the purpose of finishing it with the oil?
The purpose, because this is wood, the reason we like to coat it with oil is so that the wood doesn't absorb moisture, because if the wood absorbs moisture, it can crack or warp or things like that. So we just want to protect it from absorbing any water, that's all.
I see, I see.
There it is. We'll just put a little bit of oil on that. Give that a couple of coats. And I love how that stands out.
And just like that, I've got another mortar and pestle to complete my collection. And trust me, I've wanted this for a long time. I feel like my life is a little bit more complete now.
And you even did some of the work on it yourself.
I did. I woodworked.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? So thank you so much for this.
You're welcome.
It was so great. And I think I'll use this quite a bit. Now, what kind of wood do you recommend for something like this?
Well, pretty much any hardwood will work fine. This particular one is Gary oak with a walnut, just 3 pieces of wood laminated together, glued together. and turn that way, and it does turn out nicely.
It's
then
beautiful.
It's finished with, in this case, we finished it with mineral oil.
Right.
And the mineral oil, we use the mineral oil particularly on something like this because it's probably going to be holding liquids from time to time, and we want the oil to prevent the liquid from penetrating the oil, because when water gets into wood, and that's what the oil seals the water from getting into the wood expands and it can crack and different things like that.
Right.
So it's a good idea to keep it coated with something if you're using it around water. Yep.
And as far as maintenance goes, is there anything I should know?
Not an awful lot. Never put water in it. You don't ever want to soak this. You don't want to put it in a dishwasher. You clean it. You can clean it, wash it with soap and water is just fine. But don't leave water lying in it or something, because it'll soak up even with the mineral oil on it, it'll still soak up water eventually, and then it can split and crack.
Okay. So brief liquid ingredients in here is okay, but nothing that sits for a long time.
Yeah,
okay, that's good to know. Well, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. It's
so
been
much
fun.
Thanks for having me.
Good. And don't forget, we've got lots more videos. If you haven't already subscribed, we ask you to do that. But even more, come on over to Pi's channel and watch me doing some cooking. I'm Colin Cadet for Woodwork Web, and this is
Pi from Hot Thai Kitchen.
Thanks for watching. Well, and here I am, and Pailin has cooked up the most amazing ribs. So click on this clip and go to her channel and watch how I helped her make these delicious ribs.
See you there.